Welcome back, LEGO builders and Minecrafters, to episode 16 of building technically Scar's base out of LEGO. So yeah, with that whole 8C BBS and the base swap, now Scar technically owns this base. So we might even have to add in a Scar minifigure up there along with the Mumbo and Green minifigure. So in the last episode, we got this kind of base structure in for the support pillars, and we designed most of the heart. And if you just take a quick look down here, I have been gathering up a couple of parts for the heart, and you will see that I also have some black parts here. So here is a picture of the heart fully covered. So I did that in between episodes, and now the heart is looking absolutely amazing. And all the parts that I don't have here are coming in bricklink order. So hopefully next episode we'll be able to build up the heart. But for today, we probably have a lot more designing ahead of us. So I need to get the structure all perfectly laid out so everything matches together up at the top. And I might even do a little bit of building and adding maybe a little bit of texture to this, but it's probably going to be mostly designing again. So again, sorry, designing might not be the most interesting thing, but it's definitely an important part in making this build be absolutely amazing. So let's head over to another studio time-lapse. Let's go! Okay guys, so here is the design so far of all of the pillars. So we got all 4 of the pillars in, and everything is lining up perfectly, and everything is attaching together really nicely, like you can see at the top here. But there are a few adjustments I have to do up here still, but I am very much running out of time for this episode. So between episodes, hopefully I can finish off the section that goes in between these light bluish gray structures. So then that will be all finished, and then basically all of the designing for this mock will be done. Oh yeah, and up front here you can see there's a minifigure, and that's just to kind of show you the scale of it. So it is pretty huge, and I did measure everything out perfectly, and it does fit basically perfectly minus one stud I gotta move over onto the mock. So now basically we just gotta plop this entire thing on top of the mock. Oh, and you can see the heart down here. When I go upside down, you can see that it fits perfectly within the space allocated for it up here, and I still gotta attach it up to this little bar up at the top there, but that should be fairly easy, and I definitely know there's enough space for it up there, so everything basically worked out perfectly. So now let's jump over to the actual MOC. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention when we were looking at the design for the pillars is that all of them need to go through a very heavy process of ruination, so then they actually look like the rest of the base. So even just a little bit that I've built down there so far, all of that still needs to go through a lot of ruination. And between the pillars there is this like kind of tan colored like connectors, I guess. And so I have a lot of parts for that, and they are these like kind of hook or arm pieces for droids. And then so this should hopefully work perfectly, and I'll just like attach them in like right there, and then we'll have that aspect of the base complete. So again, I'm so sorry we didn't get any actual like building done, but again, design is very, very important, and now we are basically done all of the design for this MOC. So we are definitely on the home straight. And there's probably like a couple more bricklink orders to place and a lot of building left to do. Oh, and that reminds me, all of my bricklink orders for the heart are now shipped, so hopefully in the next episode we'll be able to build up the heart and get that done, so that will look absolutely amazing as well. Oh yeah, and in case you're wondering what all of these like kind of connectors are at the bottom here, I was just measuring out in between each of these platforms to make sure it was all symmetrical, and also to make sure that everything would meet up at the center, and also to make sure I got the exact same distance between these plates as in the design. So obviously these won't be staying up, I still gotta take them down. Oh yeah, and one more thing, since this is now technically Scar's base, we now have a Scar minifigure. And I know his head should be brown, but I didn't have any other square Minecraft heads, so it'll just have to be Scar that is wearing a diamond helmet. So I guess we can go ahead and plop him right behind Mumbo and Grian. And there we go, we have Mumbo, Scar, and Grian. So that's all of them up there, and I swear we keep adding in another minifigure every single episode. So we are reaching the end of the episode, and I hope you enjoyed, and hopefully next episode we can do a little bit of real life designing with some of the pillars, and hopefully build the heart. Oh, and one more thing, I was looking around for some good outro music, and I found this really fantastic song, but it has copyright on it, so I'm still figuring out how to get a license for that, but for now, here's a small sneak peek at it. So I absolutely love that song, but for now we're gonna have to make do with this song.